Hello to all my ghouls, gays, and theys. My name is EJ Marino, and we have a new Dragula review. I'm going to be jumping into Season 4, Episode 5, Ghostship Glamour. If you happened to miss my episode last week, well, I'm kind of glad because I tore into it. It was a drama-filled episode that I think put down everyone, didn't allow the winner of the challenge to have their moment. And yeah, well, that's kind of the theme here as well. This one isn't as bad as last week's episode. I felt last week had such it just brought the whole energy down. While this one had almost just as much drama, the editing of it, the pacing of it, I felt was a bit better. I felt like they didn't put the challenge down to put the drama up. So that is a bit of a positive. This was still a messy, chaotic episode with that cauldron having some bubbling, insane action at the end. I don't know, I'm a bit flustered with this season because I was really liking it. Those first 3 episodes were so strong. Episode 4 and 5 has dipped into the drama a bit too much for me, but at the same time, I know that's what people are here for, so me complaining about it is just a small complaint in the grand scheme of things with Dragula. It's still a pretty good season. The challenges are great. The monsters are doing some amazing looks. As much as some of them don't like some people's aesthetics, I think this is an overall strong cast. So I like this. The Ghostship Glamour was pretty fun. I liked the new Boulet song that they performed. All of this had things going for it. I just kind of, I don't know, it's just me, a personal preference. I just kind of, like, check my phone when they start yelling at each other. The only times I really liked all the drama is when Dolly was just like, yo, what's up? There was a really good moment early on when Hoso and Dolly were just like hearing all the fighting and they're just like, do you care? I don't care. I don't know. And then Hoso would kind of get somehow worse by the end of the episode. But yeah, overall, I just really like what's happening here. I just think the drama gets a bit tiresome. But let's get into the Ghostship Glamour because I thought the challenge was good. I thought the monsters had really good looks to execute. And let's talk about some of that drama. The monsters are getting into the boudoir after the last elimination. It was that shock elimination that had those 4 monsters in it with Sigurani, Jade, Bitter Betty, and Mary. They're kind of talking about it. They're kind of trashing Sigurani a little bit. They really don't like Sigurani. I had mentioned last week that I don't think every issue has to do with racism and misogyny. Well, I'm a bit wrong. This feels very pointed at Sigourney. Feels like they really don't like her, and there's just very pointed and just stabby comments, sometimes based around her look or how she presents herself. That is a bit tiresome. They really don't like her, but they also trashed Mary. So, you know, there seems to just be some trash talking happening here. They also talk some shit about Saint's little biscuit heels, which I thought was pretty funny. Like, if you're gonna, like, trash talk anyone, I think, like, making fun of little things like shoes and stuff like that aren't the worst thing ever. It's okay. So yeah, the monsters are starting to get back in. Jade and Bitter Betty enter it, and we now get the evolution of Bitter Betty. She is now Petty Betty, as her and Jade constantly get into it. They have bickered and butt heads the whole episode. I mean, to the point where they started dragging other people into the stupid BS. Like, it got pretty toxic in this situation. I just was like, okay, I was just dealing with you guys trash-talking Sigourney, feeling very pointed about her gender and things like that. So then to see this drama come in, it felt a bit more organic, at least. It felt like actual just, like, show drama, like the between the monsters themselves, not some extra forces. I'll take people talking about, like, well, in the challenge, we're in this and this, but sometimes the competition gets to these monsters and they start getting a bit too brutal. Yeah, I was just kind of, like I said, checking my phone, getting through the drama, and then we get to what the actual challenge is. They're going to have to do a lip sync number to a Boulet song while also doing some ghost ship glamour. They need to be like haunted specters, but have that sea influence. I thought that was a really fun challenge. I actually like that really bad ghost ship movie that came out like the early 2000s. Yeah, I like this challenge. It works for me, and I thought it was a good way of having them all kind of change their aesthetics a little bit. While we'll get into the glamour side of things later on, because they definitely harp on that a lot, especially with Sigourney, this also allows us to have some more fun moments. As cheesy as that stupid little seance scene was, I was wanting more of that stuff. I know Dolly and Saint were just kind of like, whatever, but I thought it was kind of cute. I just thought it was something stupid for them to do. It kind of turned into a reading challenge with Jade trying to throw shade, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is for you. I don't know. I'm starting to think the show's just not for Jade. Sorry, Jade. But yeah, I'm just starting to be like, okay, this is cool. We see some bubbling. We also get a sit down conversation, which was interesting. Those aren't always my favorite, but I can see why they're needed. The little one-on-ones with some of the monsters. It's pretty cool. Yeah, most of this intro was fine, but let's get into the actual looks and the performances, because that's why we are all really here. First and foremost, before I get into the actual monsters look, I will say I kind of liked the weird Boulet outfits. This deep sea diver helmet that they're wearing that they end up complaining about. Yo, the Boulets were in a mood this episode when they had the little one-on-one complaining about the things, and they had that oh my god, that hilarious moment of let's take a moment to feel sorry for ourselves. Moment's over. I just love that. I also love that the actor who plays Hodor from Game of Thrones was on here being as fierce and fabulous. Did not know he was so camp. I like that. So let's get into these the queens looks. I'm sorry to always call them queens or monsters. Let's get into these looks. So first off, we have Sigourney in a Sigourney look. I know they were going to read Sigourney. I definitely think this was a bit of what she's done before, but at the same time, she keeps doing it good. And I actually think this had very interesting details. The death to her. They kept saying later on, and we'll talk about this in a full little segment, of where's the horror? Where's the gore? And I'm like, she's a dead person. What more do you want? Do you need her to have eyeballs hanging out of their face? Zavaletta's the one who keeps complaining about it. I'm like, but where is, you had that one ugly look you had that first episode, and that was the only pure horror look you've had, so what's up? Yeah, it's interesting. I was okay on it. So then let's move down to Saint. Saint has I felt looked like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. This was definitely a higher look for me. It was polished. It was a bit different of a silhouette. It was more male presenting, which I thought was interesting. I just thought it was okay. The execution just felt a bit flat. That's kind of how I feel. To me, the top two people here have been Dolly and Sigourney, with Saint just under that top. Every time, I just think Saint needs a 10-15% boost to really make it to that top three, because those are two strong people, and Saint could be up there with them. And then we go to J. Jolie, who, wow, I really wanted to do well, but this look is another addition of, well, you look pretty. Jade looks great. I will never take that away from Jade. I think Jade has a very strong aesthetic. I think Jade is so beautiful, and I'm just cool. But that's usually where my sentences end. I go, well, Jade looks beautiful. They talk so much trash about Sigourney not having the horror factor, but I'm like, when has Jade done it? Oh, okay, I guess that doesn't fit your narrative to bully Sigourney about it because you don't want to do that to Jade. Yeah, I'm a little tired of all that now. I defended Jade in the first couple episodes, cannot now. I think this is low-end stuff. We need to be higher on Dragula. At least Sigourney is having a wow factor to her looks. Yeah, okay, speaking of wow factors, Hoso. Hoso tried something this week. I'm usually a fan of the very artsy queens, the very artsy, weird people. I love everyone from Grace Jones to Bjork to Lady Gaga. These are the aesthetics I like. I like high fashion that doesn't make sense. That is fine. This just did not feel like the challenge, and it's not even the outfit. I actually thought with maybe a more glamorous makeup, this outfit would have worked. It was very Little Mermaid. This is what I've had to make. This is all I could find. I've stitched this together to make a fabulous outfit because I'm a sea creature. Yeah, I got the outfit, but it was just that makeup. It was that weird hair thing, and Hoso was very defensive about it, and I understand you want to defend your art. It just wasn't that, it just wasn't the challenge. I think the makeup was messy. I just think it wasn't glamorous. The dress was fine. I thought the dress was pretty. I just hated that hair and makeup. It really brought that outfit down. Let's move to Dolly now. I think Dolly looked so good. I've been kind of complaining about some of Dolly's makeups, that they feel a bit similar, a little bit samey. Not this week. Dolly definitely had a new face on, and I was really into that. I think that was such a striking look. I thought, I was just oh, wow, I see a new layer to Dolly's look here, and I was a very big fan. I really think Dolly is one of the strongest monsters on this show, actually, probably to be in any of the shows. To me, it's Dolly, Landon, Bitch Pudding is some of the strongest people I have seen. I really like it. And in our final look, we have Zavaleta, who is in a glamorous look. I think this looks good. That's kind of the only thing I could say. This was also not horror. It was not even that, it wasn't that glamorous. It was a fine, like, kind of flappers 20s inspired, very like I Crashed on the Titanic kind of aesthetic, which is fine, but it just wasn't the wow I was expecting. I think Zavaleta has some good makeup skills. I think Zavaleta has some good like looks to present. This was just an okay look, and I definitely feel that the judges felt that way, and it was okay. Like, I don't think this was a pure bottom look, which is where she ended up being. Yeah, I don't know. This was okay for me. I don't know. How do you guys feel? Zavaleta's the one was the hardest one for me, which thought was pretty, just wasn't wow. Much like Jade's, but to me, Zavaleta's was still more interesting than what Jade was doing. Oh my goodness. I almost forgot Betty's look, because Betty had a Betty look. Okay, so yes, let's tie into some stuff here. I'll talk about Betty's look, which was pretty. I thought it was very ghostly. I thought Betty was the most pretty she's been in the face. And I was like, okay, you are safe. This was a definition to me of a safe look. But Jade got this little key earlier on in this, like, I don't know, a very Survivor. This key could be used for something, either save yourself or put somebody up for extermination. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I thought Jade was just going to go one way with it, save herself. And she did. She saved herself by putting Betty in the bottom. Yeah, I don't think Betty's look was going to be a bottom look just based on what was presented, but this key put Betty into the bottom with Zavaleta and Hoso. I was just like, what a strong bottom three. Like, normally this would be top three contenders, but this is some bottom looks for the week. I can't believe I almost forgot Betty. But look at the outfit. So yeah, all of them get together. They start doing their critiques. I think I agreed with a lot of the critiques. I was just like, The Boulets are so on point with judging. Again, there are some people who've complained about favoritism, which is obvious. Every judge has favoritism, but I don't think they really put other people down to elevate their favorites. They just like their favorites. So yeah, I like the judging. I think it all made sense. The top two of the week, as much as Zavaleta was pissed about it, was Sigourney and Dolly. I love these top two. These were my top two for the whole season. Sigourney wins the episode with a great look, and I was just like, yay, Sigourney, get to celebrate it. And then the cauldron shit happened. Oh my goodness. This cauldron was drama-filled. It felt less, I don't know, problematic or yelly as last week's, but there was more layers to this one that I did not like. They were really attacking Sigourney. Everyone was, for the most part. There was people like, I thought Saint had a really good moment with, Saint had a moment where he was just like, oh my god, it was very like, oh, that's a lot of energy for safe kind of thing, which was fine. We all have those feelings. But Saint had a really cute moment with Sigourney. It was just like, yo, I'm sorry that you can't enjoy your win, because everyone kept bringing Sigourney down. From Betty to Zavaleta to Hoso, it was just kind of disgusting. Like, and Hoso was doing this like, I don't want to be mean right now because I'm overwhelmed, but your outfit's unhemmed, you look a mess. And I'm like, oh, you don't want to be mean, Hoso, but you're being kind of mean. And Zavaleta's critiques of Sigourney, again, all of these just feel so pointed. It feels jealousy. Honestly, that's what this feels like. I'm going to be straight up with you. It feels like a lot of these monsters are jealous of what Sigourney's presenting, or at least by the praise that she's getting from the judges. I don't know. I really did not like this. The only moment I liked was Dolly being like, yo, what is happening? And like let me recap of how we got here. Dolly really owned this episode. Dolly, to me, is the strongest contender here. Really, really like him. Yeah, I don't know. This was problematic for me. It was messy. I was not in love with it. Yeah, let's just get to the elimination. They have to do a photo shoot? Okay. Wow. If I was like, what was it, formaldehyde, and was just like, I got buried, and this bitch has got to take a photo shoot at like a beach with strong waves. I'm from Florida. Like, I'm used to strong waves. This was not an extermination. Whatever. Betty goes home. Yay. Sad. I don't know. I really like Betty. Betty to me was one of my top contenders. Just this was not your week. And then with Jade putting you in the bottom, I can definitely see it. Yeah, Betty goes home. Everyone's kind of drama-filled. I'm worried for the next episode. I just feel the drama's only going to get worse. Maybe we need to get rid of, like, Zavaleta, because that seems to be the drama magnet. But who knows? I don't want to get accused of anything for not liking Zavaleta in this episode, because who knows? But, Oh, this episode was tiresome. Alright, everyone, that is it for my review of episode 5 of Dragula, the Ghostship Glamour episode. I had a good time with this episode. As frustrating as it was in certain aspects, I still focused on the glamour, the looks, the challenge, and it was a good challenge. I had a good time with it. What do you guys think? Are you guys done with the drama like I am? Do you think they are hating Sigurani for some pretty bad reasons? Let me know all your feelings down in the comment below. Subscribe to my channel because I make videos like this every single week, and give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Alright, everyone, let's talk about Dragula down below.